We're going to do a squat progression using the Sandbell. The Sandbell is a great tool because it's soft on the client's hands, but it also challenges their grip strength because of the softness of the implement. So I'm going to have Shelby grab that. We're going to start with a goblet squat progression. She's going to hold it tight to the chest. You can see she has to grip that thing tight to keep it there. I want to see her feet shoulder width or slightly wider, her feet straight or slightly angled out. Wherever she's comfortable is really fine with me. Screw those feet into the ground, create some tension in the hips. Then we're going to lower down. We want to get that femur at least parallel or below to the ground with those elbows tracking inside of the legs. From there, if we want to challenge the client a little bit, we can progress them to an overhead squat with the Sandbell. This is not only going to challenge their upper body strength, but also challenge the sagittal plane stability of their trunk. So I'm going to have her reach that straight up over the head. We want to see that her arms, biceps are right next to her ears. Keep that right up over the top of the head. Then she's going to lower herself down into an overhead squat. Hold for a second, come right back up. Again, this is going to be a great progression to challenge her stability as well as her upper body strength while also doing that squat pattern. We're going to do a plank pull-through progression using the Sandbell. The Sandbell is a great implement for this because it's going to challenge the client's grip strength and it also slides really easily across the floor. So I'm going to have Shelby get up in the top of a push-up position, hands underneath the shoulders, create some good stability by screwing those hands into the ground. I want to see her feet split out a little bit so she gets a little bit of external stability. I want to see some nice tension in her abdominals here. She's going to reach with her opposite arm and pull that bell through across her body. We want to see that she gets minimal sway side to side. So she's going to reach across, pull it back. So we're going to be challenging her multi-planar stability in her trunk muscles to be able to maintain position as she pulls that across her body. We're going to do a half Turkish get-up using the Sandbell. The Sandbell is a great tool when starting to teach Turkish get-ups because sometimes clients have trouble understanding how to hold a kettlebell correctly. And the Sandbell is a real easy implement they can just place right on their palm when doing the exercise. So Shelby's going to lay back. I want to see this leg bent here. I want to see this leg kind of angled out to the side, knee straight, and I want her arm out to the side as well, almost matching that same angle there. She's going to take her left arm, put it up straight. I'm going to place that bell right on her palm here. That feel good? Got a good grip there, perfect. Then she's going to roll to her elbow, thinking about reaching that bell straight up to the ceiling. We see nice tall posture. She's going to slide to her palm, and I just simply want her to bridge her hips up. Good position there. You see a nice straight line from her hand down to her opposite hand. She's going to come right back down right here. We're going to do one more rep here. We'll come all the way back down the bottom. Again, you can see her working to manage that stability of the top arm through the Sandbell. She's going to roll up. Nice and tall position there. Slide that hand in, bridge up. Nice pillar position from hand to hand here, right back down here. We're going to do a split stance row using the Sandbell. The Sandbell is a great versatile tool you can use for a variety of exercise that's also going to challenge your client's grip strength while challenge her to also do that rowing exercise. So I'm going to Shelby get in a split position here. She's going to grab the bell. Okay, you can see her gripping that tight, those muscles in the forearms working, and she's going to row that right up towards her rear hip, hold for a second, come right back down. So you can see while also challenging her upper back and shoulder muscles, it's also challenging her grip and her hand muscles to hold that bell in position the entire time. We're going to do a plank row using the Sandbell. The Sandbell is a great tool because it can challenge the client's grip strength while also challenging whatever else exercise we're doing, whether it's a pressing or a pulling variation. In this instance, we're going to do a plank row. So it's going to challenge her trunk muscles as well as her upper back and shoulder muscles. So Shelby's going to get down into a push-up position, get those feet split out nice and wide so she has a little stability. I want to see her abs brace nice and tight, straight line from her head, thoracic spine down to her hips. Then she's going to grab that bell, and I want her to think about rowing that up towards her side. She's going to hold for a second, come back down. So this is going to challenge her trunk in multi-planar stability. We want to see that she's able to maintain a nice square posture through her spine, her pelvis, while pulling that bell up and down towards her waist. We're going to do a Sandbell swing. The Sandbell is a great versatile tool we can use for a lot of exercise. It's not only going to provide external load, but it's going to provide a dynamic nature that the weight is moving, and it's going to challenge our grip strength. So I'm going to get Brett in a good starting position. He's going to hike it over, snap those hips, get nice and tall at the top, and you can see it's challenging his grip strength because of the dynamic nature of the Sandbell. It's swinging back and forth. The sand is moving inside the bell. So it can provide a nice extra challenge to the grip and the stability and trunk stability of the client while they do the swinging exercise. We're going to do slams using the Sandbell. This is going to be a great exercise to develop trunk strength as well as upper body power. The Sandbell is a nice tool because you don't have to worry about it bouncing up and hitting the client. And so I'm going to have Brett reach that up, slam it down on the ground. He's going to retrieve it right back up, get nice and tall, slam that thing down. Again, the Sandbell is a great tool because it's not going to break. It's really solidly built. Again, it's not going to bounce. He's going to have to work to pick that thing right back up again and slam it right back down to the ground. We're going to do Russian twists using the Sandbell. This is going to be a great multiplanar core exercise. The Sandbell's dynamic nature of the sand moving inside is going to further challenge our stability as well as our grip strength. So we get Brett into a crunch position here, feet flat on the ground. He's slowly going to rotate that over his body, trying to maintain trunk stability as that load moves back and forth. If we want to challenge him a little bit, we're simply going to have him lift his feet off the ground. So now he's going to have much more load on his core muscles. He's again going to have to work extra hard to maintain that trunk position in multiple planes as he moves that Sandbell back and forth across his torso. We're going to do a half kneeling halo exercise using the Sandbell. This is going to be a great core pelvic stability exercise as well as a great shoulder mobility exercise. We want to get the client in a nice half kneeling position here. We want to see that as they bring that bell from their chest behind their head, they're really going to challenge the range of motion in their shoulders as well as the stability of their trunk and pelvis. I want to see that he's able to lock in this position here without a lot of extra compensatory motion side to side or front to back. If we want to make that exercise a little easier, we can go to a tall kneeling variation as a regression. So I'm going to have Brett just bring the knees underneath, dig those toes in the ground behind him. Now he has like a more balanced base of support. So it's less of a hip stability exercise, more of just a trunk stability and shoulder mobility exercise. So we can just widen his base of support. Once he gets comfortable here, we can just simply progress him back to that half kneeling variation. We're going to do a lunge and twist using the Sandbell. I'm going to have Brett bring that Sandbell right up in front of his chest. He's going to grip it tight in both hands. And this is going to be a great exercise to develop deceleration control as well as pelvic internal rotation over his femur. So he's going to step forward. I want to see him keep that bell tight to the chest, rotate his trunk and pelvis towards that lead leg, come back up, and we're going to alternate sides. Again, this is going to be a great exercise for both trunk stability as well as the ability to internally rotate his pelvis over his femur to develop a little bit of internal rotation in that lead hip.